you think he should get sacked or he should get the Arteta treatment and give him time?
Look, it's a really hard one because it's a hard one because to break. I want to explain my rationale first. I will give you a straight answer, I promise you, but I want to explain my rationale first, if that's okay. I feel like Ruben needs more time. And so some will say, well, how can you give Ruben time and not Maresca? Well, Ruben hasn't had a pre-season, and Man United are 1 year into our club size rebuild. You're at the end of your third season of rebuilding, and this project that Clear Lake started doesn't reset every time a new manager comes in. The project's still been moving in a particular direction. I think there is genuine cause to look at him and say, well, it's 2 seasons running now. The manager has had terrible second half to seasons. So there's a pattern there that needs to be looked at. However, I get the calls for sacking him. But if they're not going to sign 3 or 4 really experienced players in the summer, I don't think another new voice is good for these young players either. So it's a really hard. So when I say I give you a straight answer, my answer is dependent upon their summer transfer activity. If they're going to go and buy experience, stick with him. Sorry, like if they're going to go and buy experience, then if they want to bring in Osimhen, Bruno Gomes, I'm making up names here. Osimhen, Bruno Gomes, they're going to go out and get Gahey. They're going to go and get Costa in goal. And they say, plus, we're bringing in a better manager. I think it makes sense. If they're going to go out and go, no, we're buying 3 or 4 more youngsters, I don't think adding another manager's voice to that dressing room is maybe going to help with the development of that team. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they should sack him. I'm really, really on. I know I said I was going to give you a straight answer, but my straight answer is I'm really on the fence. I'm really on the fence. But I'm being honest about it. I'm being really honest. I don't. With Chelsea's managerial situation, my mind changes every day. I'm like,
I can be wrong.
I see the rationale, and then I'm like, no, they've got to stick with him. And then someone makes an argument, and I go, oh, that's a really good point. It feels messy, really messy from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah, the difference between Arteta and him, which is, I think, Staffy as well, I have to give him credit for that. He said that even in Arteta's first season or 2, number one, he had a team that was clearly, he was asked to clear out. He adapted sometimes by playing 3 at the back, by playing 4, by implementing. So you can tell that he's not rigid as Enzo Maresca, who is still insisting on doing the same thing even if it doesn't work. Yes, you can tell that the forwards are not. It's same as Ange, for example. Ange is insisting on the same thing. Bro, it doesn't work. Are you not seeing that it doesn't work? That your forward line or your defenders are exposed. The problem with me is that I'm not ruling out that Maresca is going to work or not going to work. But based on the signs that I'm seeing, based on my knowledge of football, I am looking at this guy and I'm thinking, you're going to get Estivao, you're going to get Andre Santos, who's playing in League A. You're not going to get experienced players because you need to implement Estivao and the youngsters that they spent 50 million on. I can't remember his name, the other here we go that we got from Fabrizio. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't see the signs that I saw with other managers, the adaptability from other managers that I think that this guy need in the Premier League. And even though I don't think he's good enough to be a Pep Guardiola, the only manager, the 2 managers that came to the league and they were so adamant, 3 managers, Jurgen Klopp, Antonio Conte, and Pep Guardiola. But Jurgen Klopp was a winner. He already won 2 league titles with Dortmund, reached a Champions League final. Antonio Conte was a winner. He won league titles with Italy.
Yeah.
And the other one is Pep Guardiola. Maresca's not a winner. He's not a winner.
This is what I mean by on the fence. I'm listening to you and I'm going, it makes a lot of sense. And this is the one thing I would say as well. This is why when you compare, I don't think we can look anymore at. I don't think we can solely look at when a manager's appointed and go, well, this is what happened year 1 for Amorim. This is what happened year 1 for Arteta. This is what happened year 1 for Maresca. What you have to look at is the game state of the club. Maresca came in after 2 years of Clear Lake and Co. building the squad, building the culture, building the structure. Arteta was there from day 1 of the rebuild. Amorim is actually sort of joined 6 months into the rebuild, but after the club have publicly admitted what we did in the summer was a fuck up. So we're really starting again now, right? maybe they've said those similar things at Chelsea. So educate us on that. I never sit here and claim to know everything. This is why we have these open discussions, but just keep it civil. I do look at it and just think to myself, yeah, it really is a difficult one. It really is a difficult one. And I'd love to know internally what they're looking at, whether they think, okay, this is the other argument though. In so many of the games in the last 3 months, they've had the chances and the opportunities to score or put the ball into the right place and win. Or the goalkeeper's fucked up and they've conceded. There is an argument to go, well, you give them a better striker, you give them better creators, you bring in a better goalkeeper, and Maresca's team may have won an extra 4 or 5 games. If they won those 4 or 5 games, they'd be assumed for the Champions League. So as much as he's made mistakes, I do see Maresca improving if the squad improves. It's a real fine balance. But look, they could sack him, bring in a better manager, bring in better players, do that whole thing and be a much better team next year. You could sack him, bring in another dud and go further back again. Like those two things are an option at this point. The most important thing, though, is the new manager, if they got rid of Maresca, he has to look at this squad and go, I can get something out. It can't be this squad's crap. I need a massive overhaul because I don't have got the money to overhaul this squad. They've got money to add to it. I don't think Chelsea have got the money without the Champions League to overhaul this squad again. Mathematically, I can't work out where the money is. Their parent company is $1 billion in the hole.
Yeah,
can't keep doing that. They won't keep doing it. They can't keep doing it.
Those fans have got to be prepared for the outcome of it potentially getting worse, because you've sacked Poch and it's got worse. So saying, oh, Maresca out, let's bring someone else in. You also have to look at this board and think, are looking at what they've done so far, do you think they can bring in a better manager? And I'd also think, even if they did sack Maresca, who would be the number one target? Like when you look at the squad they've got, the system they play, who would Chelsea look at and go, right, he's attainable? Because whenever a manager gets sacked, everyone immediately goes, oh, let's go and get Inzaghi. Why would Inzaghi leave it into Milan?
Yeah, well, there's also where Chelsea have to be realistic. And it's hard to be realistic because of, especially when you know what your club has been, that you become less attractive and you become more of a risk for top managers joining you. And Chelsea haven't challenged for a Premier League title for 8 years now, since they last won it in 2017. And I know they won a Champions League in that period, which holds weight. They're Chelsea, that has pull. There's no doubt. But there's a problem there that goes just beyond hiring a new coach. You have to look at this deeply and you've got to get that fixed. My club's in an even worse scenario. We haven't challenged for 12 years now, as an example. I mean, Spurs, you haven't challenged. No, well, actually, I'm joking. I'm winding you up. But it is an issue there. So I don't see Inzaghi joining Chelsea in their current state. Had they come third this year, finished 8 points off top and were purring, but the club went, you know what? Sorry, Maresca, you were the reason why we didn't go over the line. And then I think someone like Inzaghi look at it and go, well, that's the team that came third, but the manager was inexperienced. I don't know. I think he'd look at that team in sixth, and I think he'll look at it and go, the recruitment's also key. So could they attract an Inzaghi, use him as a case in point? I think you'd have to promise him players of the experience and of the levels of the Osimhens of this world. I don't think he comes in if what you're giving him is 5 more youngsters. I don't think, because again, when you look at most teams that are winning and winning consistently, they're not full of kids. There's youngsters in those teams sometimes, but it's not a team built on kids. And I just don't think managers would risk it. I really don't think they'd risk it. And that's not a dig at Chelsea. It's just, I mean, it doesn't know. Don here, we have the best squad in the EPL. No, I think he said second best behind
City.
City.
Did he say best midfield in the league?
Nah, he didn't say that. Can't have done.
Or second best midfield in the league or something?
I don't believe Don would ever make a claim like that, ever.
I think they still think they have the best midfield in the league.
I
genuinely think that a majority of them think. Some think that they have the best midfield in the league. They still think that Caicedo is the best midfielder in the league. Palma is the best attacking midfielder in the league, and Enzo Fernandez is performing out of this world.
I'll tell you what was funny at the weekend. I don't know where this came from on the Saturday evening. I went in the group chat for 2 minutes and came out. I didn't respond. And I saw Don and Ches and Jem, the Chelsea fans in there, like they were going, saying that people say we have a poor defense They're idiots, basically. They didn't use the word idiots, but they were laughing at it, saying, you guys in here think Chelsea have a poor defense. Ha, 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 you're clueless. Literally, come Sunday afternoon, they're all in the group saying, our defense is so shit. I can't believe how bad our defense is. Sometimes Chelsea fans are a little bit bipolar as well. Some Chelsea fans were a little bit bipolar this season. They'll literally be in a group chat or on a camera or on their own Twitter talking, saying, yeah, we've got the best this, the best that. Then they're on road. They have a bad game. It's like, we're so shocking. And then a rival says, I think your midfield's shocking or your defense. How dare you say that? It's just strange. It's just kind of strange.
When we talk about the manager, don't talk about Maresca. He plays good. When we talk about the players, our players are the best.
Jamal, I was being sarcastic about the Don thing. I was being a little bit sarcastic. We have some comments here I want to go to.